Right, here's a bit of a rarity. This is a custom-made record, and it's the poems, 12 Great Poems from Vagabonds House by Don Blanding. That's the back of it. And it's on red vinyl. Not quite sure when it was made, probably in the 50s. That's a copy of the famous Vagabonds House book. This is a 1942 publication. See dedication there, Christmas 1942 from Virginia Carr. I'll give them to somebody. It's a picture of Blanding himself. See all the publication dates. I think the first publication was 1928. A nice little booklet to have. And I'm going to give you a little piece from the his most famous poem, Vagabond House. Here we go.
From my book, Vagabonds House. West of the sunset stands my house, there and east of the dawn. North to the Arctic runs my yard, and south to the pole, my lawn. 7 seas are to sail my ships to the ends of the earth, beyond. Drifter's gold is for me to spend, for I am a vagabond. Fabulous cities are mine to loot, queens of the earth to wed. Fruits of the world are mine to eat, and the couch of a king, my bed. All that I see is mine to keep. Foolish the fancy seems, but I am rich with the wealth of sight, the coin of the realm of dreams. Not for all the lonely winding road that leads across the hill into the neverness beyond, and not for all the restless thrill of changing skies. Only for him who knows the ceaseless urge to go, go ever on, carried by tide and trade wind's pulsing surge, lured by the bright mirage of far-off places, forests and jungles, and bleak frozen spaces, ready to bid love, greeting, or farewell with the same light gesture, knowing the spell that makes the somewhere else the promised land, caring no whit if son of Sur or Samarkand shall bleach his bones, or curious creatures of the sea play havoc with his flesh, content to be lover of chance, with loneliness for wife, faithful to faithlessness of all save life, ready to face that last dim, misted trail when eager eyes and pliant muscles fail, thinking of death as just another place to go, another road to walk, another land to know. My grass house stands by the open sea on a bit of beach. It belongs to me. I paid, I don't remember the price of my little acre in paradise, but a great deal more than sun-browned leaves of island grass went into the weaves and walls of my house. All day long as we built the hut, there were scraps of song and tatters of laughter and wisps of sighs, all tangled up with the binding ties of love and friendliness. Wondrous things were used to make my house. The strings of my heart with the warp, my love the woof of woven walls and brown thatched roof. For the Southern Cross hangs over my door, and the moon flings silver on the floor, while the surf makes thunder along the beach, and the rainbow's end is within my reach. Jasmine sprinkles my walls with stars, and spendthrift sun gold lies in bars on a hollow mat where I sprawl at ease and feel the swift caressing breeze that is tanged with salt from a lazy sea where the flying fish skim endlessly. By looking beyond my window ledge, I can see a long hibiscus hedge with polka dot pattern of red and white, a quiver with light in the drenching light. The green, fantastic mountains rise in sudden swoops to the startled skies where white cloud monsters puff their cheeks and scrape their bellies across the peaks. Along the reef, on a still, dark night, a fisherman prowls with a flaring light of smoky orange. He peers and feels in the coral caves for the tiger eels and the slimy squid. He brings to me crisp, wet sea moss, cool by the sea, and little sea urchins full of meat, and lobsters and crabs for me to eat. There's a monkey pod tree upon my lawn where the minor birds at the peep of dawn raise an awful row, but I don't care. I rather like to hear them there. Oh, the seasons come and the seasons go, and the Kona storms and the trade winds blow, while the mangoes ripen on the trees, and I smell white ginger in the breeze. The breadfruit swings its swollen globes of luscious green. Like royal robes, the gorgeous bougainvillea spreads its scarlet and magenta reds. All up and down the road in rows, the autumn-colored croton grows in red and green and russet brown. A little stream comes rushing down across my yard. I dammed it so the water hyacinth could grow. In June, the reckless shower trees spend all their hoarded wealth to please my fancy with a dress of gold, while poinciana, wanton bold, bedecks itself with flaming red. The pale begonia flowers shed a pearly, pinky sort of dew of petals on the grass. Can you look through my eyes and see this land where beauty lives on every hand? And would you care to use my ears and hear the music with its tears beneath the joyous note? I'll give my heart to you, so you may live one day in paradise. My hut of grass is open to you, but I think before the day has flown, you'll want a grass house of your own. Oh, little grass house on the beach, your drifting wind-blown leaves will reach across the world, across the years, and settle on my heart. The fears of losing you have made me care to pluck a leaf from here and there, and weave them into lazy line, and keep them in this heart of mine. I walk quite slowly down Baby Street. Babies are everywhere. Under my feet, sprawled on the sidewalks, perched on the walls. Babies in diadies, in blue overalls. Babies in rompers of flowered cretonne. And babies with not much of anything on. Little brown babies in brown mama's laps. Philippine babies, Koreans, and Japs. Fresh, shiny babies right out of the tub. And babies in scandalous need of a scrub. Baby Hawaiians, the sons of a chief. Rastas from Africa, gay past belief. Babies with yellow hair, babies with brown, and babies with just a few patches of down. Toddling babies on little bowed legs, and very new babies much bolder than eggs. Portuguese babies and Russians as well, and babies whose ancestors no one could tell. Toothless as turkeys, these tiny young tads, but grinning as though they were dentifrice ads. Now walk very carefully, Make your step hesitant. One of these babies someday may be president. Names. The lure in names of places, stirring thoughts of foreign faces, ports and palaces and steamers. Names are ships to carry dreamers. The Pango Pango, Suva, Java, languor, lotuses and lava. Everything a dreamer wishes. Buried treasures, flying fishes, coconuts and kings and corals, pirates, pearls and pagan morals, rum and reefs and Christian teaching, gin and jungle parrots screeching. Kobe, Nikko, Yokohama, views of sacred Fujiyama, bales of silk and bowls of lacquer, dragons on a sugar cracker, temples high on pictured mountains, purple goldfish, perfume fountains, amber, obis, geisha dances, almond eyes and slanted glances. The places that I pray I may go. Rio, Terra del Fuego, condors soaring in the Andes, cloying Guatemalan candies, pampas grasses, pink flamingos, Spanish girls who call us gringos, llamas, lizards, smoking craters, armadillos, alligators, Cairo, Carthage, Congo, Congo, names that like a savage gongo, Paris, Venice, gay Vienna, cocottes, kisses, genius, henna, gorgeous, vicious, mad Manhattan, misery, motors, rags and satin, moose and mice and sin and sago, yaps from Yap or Winnebago. Every name's a ship with cargo, brass from Burma, wheat from Fargo, pots and prunes and precious metal mined on Popocatépetl, chests of carved and stained catalpa, letters from Tegucigalpa, linen from an Irish shanty for a store in Ypsilanti, sailing ship and ocean liner bringing stuff from Asia Minor, ferry boat or lazy freighter, folks from China or Decatur, Mozambique or Madagascar, Slav or Serb or savage Lascar, Barber, Berber or Brazilian, clad in blue or bright vermilion. Fascinating names of places, stirring thoughts of foreign faces, ports and palaces and steamers. Names are ships to carry dreamers. And there's a place I want to go, a place called Paramaribo. Now, I don't know and I don't care where it is or who lives there, but just as sure as fate, I know I'll go to Paramaribo.
That was interesting, wasn't it? That included his most famous poem, The Vagabond House, and these are other poems from that book. And God knows when the record was made. They must have been recorded, and the recordings must have been made in the, I guess, around the 50s, because he died, I think, in 1957. And yeah, it's just really unusual. It's very, personally, I could have done without the music. The music's by Joe Venuti, who was a famous jazz violinist, I think, but I'm not that keen on some of these. I'd like to hear poetry actually read without music. Some of his poems actually could have been read with a bit more sort of depth to them, because he's obviously trying to read it to make a sort of musical presentation out of them. And but yeah, lovely record, very interesting. Have a look at that book. There we are again, that's Don Blanding. And to the restless ones, to all the gallant frantic fools who follow the path of the sun, across blue waters to distant mountains, I dedicate my book. It's nice, wasn't it? Thanks for watching.